Shri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha. Shri Sadguru Paramatmane Namaha. Sarva Maharshibhyo Namaha. The equal vision of Yoga Rudaha is further explained. Ninth Shloka. Suhrun Mitraryudasena Madhyastat Veshabandushu Sadhushvapicha Papeshu Samabuddhir Visishyate. Substance. He who is equal minded towards the good hearted friends, enemies, the indifferent, neutrals, haters, relations, towards the righteous and also the wicked excels. Commentary. Different categories of men are described here. Some people help without expecting any return. Others do so for mutual benefit. There are positively inimical people who may hate others and try to injure them in every possible way. Others are indifferent and some others are neutral. Thus, we come across different categories of people with different attitudes. The yogi is equal minded towards all these people, towards the righteous and the unrighteous also. He is equal minded. How is he able to maintain this equality of vision? It is clear that all these distinctions arise with reference to the ego, which has identified itself with the body. The egocentric man is constantly reactionary to people according to their attitude towards him. If they are friends, he likes them. If they are harmful foes, he hates them. It is the bodily outlook, deha drishtihi, that is the cause of all those distinctions. For the man who has transcended the ego idea, all that exists is only the self and nothing else. He has realized the self and he looks upon everything with Atmic Bhava. It is the duty of all seekers to cultivate the Atma Drishti in all things and kill the differentiation. Question. Who among the yogis excels? Answer. The yogi who is equal minded towards friend and foe, the good and the bad excels. Dhyana yoga, by which union with the self is attained, is explained from this verse. 10th shloka. Yogi yunjita satatamatmanam rahasi stitaha ekaki yatat chittatma nirashira parigraha. Substance. Alone, stationed in a solitary place, self controlled, free from desire, and not receiving anything from others, the yogi practicing Dhyana Yoga should unite the mind with Atma. Commentary. From this verse onwards, the practice of Dhyana Yoga is explained in detail. Here, the word yogi does not refer to one who has already attained perfection. It applies to those who are seeking yoga, union with the self. 5 conditions are mentioned for the practice of Dhyana Yoga: solitude, living in a lonely place, control of mind and body, desirelessness, non receiving. Stationed in a solitary place means the yogi should practice meditation in a lonely place. Pretenders who sit in yogic pose in public thoroughfares are cheaters and beggars. The yogi practices meditation not to derive benefit or admiration from others. The aim of the yogi is to establish union between himself and God. So he should seek a solitary place where the mind is not distracted by the sights and sounds of worldly life. That is why the ancient sages sought for the solitude of mountain caves and riverbeds to carry on their spiritual practice. The solitude of nature is itself a purifying influence, and the vast silence around induces the mood of meditation without much effort. The beauty of nature delights and calms the mind, and the turbulent impulses are subdued of their own accord. The householders can create solitude in their own homes by keeping a small enclosure for purposes of worship and dhyana. The images of saints and sages, along with the deity of family worship, may be kept there and worshipped with flowers, incense, and camphor. Such a place will indeed be solitude. That is a liberal interpretation to undertake the practice of dhyana for self advancement. Alone means meditation has to be practiced alone and not in the company of others. In Bhakti Yoga, some kirtan and bhajan could be carried with great intensity by groups of like minded devotees. Not so in Dhyana Yoga. Even the proximity of other is a disturbing factor. So in Dhyana Yoga, the aspirant has to remain alone with his mind in communion with the self. Control of mind and desirelessness are again emphasized. The aspirant should not receive anything from others. If anything is offered for the bare maintenance of the body, it may be taken. Beyond this, nothing should be touched. If gifts are received, the mind begins to dwell on them and the dhyana is thereby disturbed. Non receiving of gifts is one of the basic virtues of spiritual life. So, dhyana requires complete absorption of the whole self in the Supreme Being without any kind of disturbance or distraction. Dhyana should be continuous and unbroken. Therefore, the word satatam is used here. There is no fear the man who is ever wakeful and vigilant in spiritual life. The hostile forces, tamas and rajas, cannot enter the mind when it keeps continuous vigilance. When the light is kept burning always, there is no fear of darkness. Question: what are the conditions for the practice of Dhyana Yoga? Answer: the yogi should live in solitude. He should be all alone. He should control the mind and body. He should not have any desire. He should not receive any gifts from others. Question: following these conditions, what should the yogi do? Answer: he should merge his mind in Atma. Further instructions regarding the practice of Dhyana Yoga are given. 11th Shloka. Suchau deshe pratishtapya sthiramasanamatmanah natyuchritam nati nicham chailajina kushottaram. 12th Shloka. Tatraikagram manah krutva yatachittendriyakriyah upavishyasane yunjad yogam atma vishuddhaye. Substance. In a clean spot, a firm seat should be made, neither too high nor too low, and it should be covered by cloth, skin, and holy grass over one another. There, being seated, having made the mind one pointed, controlling the actions of the mind and the senses, let them practice Dhyana Yoga for self purification. Commentary. The Gita gives complete instruction in all matters, great and small. Here, the Lord gives minute details of the place and the seat where dhyana should be practiced. The place selected should be a clean spot. Keep the home clean, and that shall become a fit place for meditation. Even in solitude, there may be unclean spots full of worms, germs, and foul smell. Such a place is not fit for meditation. Let us understand how the Lord emphasizes cleanliness. Some people think that the mind is more important than the place, and it does not matter whether the place is clean or unclean. It is wrong to think so. In an unclean place, unclean thoughts arise in the mind. In a home which is kept in perfect order, the mind functions in an orderly manner. Of course, when the man becomes a yoga rudha, all places are the same. He can be absorbed in the self at all places. But till that state is reached, one must see that he selects only a clean spot. We do not come across any great soul living an unclean life either in body or mind or speech. The seat should not be too high or too low. If it is too high, there is a danger of falling down if any time the man becomes unconscious in the course of meditation. If it is too low, worms and other reptiles may sting the body, causing distraction. So, to sit on a wooden plank slightly raised from the ground is best. It should be covered with cloth, skin, and kusha grass, one above the other. On the whole, the seat should be clean, firm, and leveled. It is only when the track is firm and leveled the engine runs safely and smoothly. No particular asana is mentioned here. Each one may adopt his own asana like Padmasana or Siddhasana, in which he can sit for a long time without feeling any discomfort. Only it should be firm, sthiram. Patanjali also says that the posture should be firm and comfortable, sthira sukhamasanam. Being thus seated in any comfortable posture, the yogi should draw back the mind from the senses and the external world and turn it inside to look into the self. Mind acquires great power by such concentration on the Supreme Self, and all forms of ignorance are burnt thereby. This practice is intended to purify the inner organ, namely the mind. Question: what are the conditions prescribed for Dhyana Yoga? Answer: one should select a clean spot. The place should be perfectly clean. The seat should not be too high or too low. The seat should be covered by holy grass, deer skin, and cloth one over the other. The seat should be firm, smooth, and leveled. He can adopt a comfortable posture which he can maintain for a sufficiently long time. He should control the functions of the senses and the mind. He should concentrate on the self. Question: what is the effect of the practice? Answer: the mind is purified. It is in a pure mind that the self is reflected.